purpose of our audience feedback was to create a film opening, film magazine, and a film poster that will meet the expectations of our audience so that our media production appeals to them. Before conducting my media product, I had to find out who my target audience was by looking at audiences of existing thriller and horror genre films. We did this to give us an idea of how we could appeal to our own audience. We looked at the IMDb of films we drew inspiration from. From this, we learnt that there were less views from the audience 30 plus, however, there were more views from males and females below 21. During our primary research, our ideas were all over the place. This was because we were looking at the IMDb for films with completely different film plots and were distributed in different years. However, as time went on, we gained more knowledge about the horror and thriller genre and were able to narrow down our ideas. Therefore, we were able to determine our secondary audience. Also, we knew what elements of these genres appealed to them. Influenced our decision to give our media production the age classification 15 because the horror and thriller genre is popular with young teenagers. It was useful to us because I can then go to my target audience directly so that I can find out relevant information about what they like and dislike about horror films, allow me to appeal to them. Address my target audience directly by using the primary method interview. From this, I learned that they enjoy an interesting storyline that follows the codes and conventions of horror films and thriller films with a twist to make it more original and unique.
What I like about horror movies is the adrenaline that is associated with them and the tension. Also, it creates a sense of suspense, which creates excitement as well. Therefore, you don't really know what's going to happen, and every horror movie is unique in its own way, and that's what attracts me to that sort of genre of film.
What I like about horror films is the appeal to fantasy, the fact that a lot of things that take place in them don't really happen in your everyday life, and secondly, I also like the suspense, that you find in a lot of horror films. A bit of suspense never killed anybody.
Generally, I learnt that they desire a build-up of tension because it gives them a sense of self-involvement and makes the film seem more realistic by heightening their emotions. I conducted a questionnaire to find out more about my target audience's preferences. I learnt that they pay more attention to the characters' costumes, most but unconsciously rely on the music to build up tension. They also prefer thriller films rather than graphic horror films as they seem more realistic, and characters being the same age as my target audience helps them to relate more. So from this, we try to appeal to our target audience that they were able to relate more. For example, we made the clothing of our characters more casual and similar to what young girls of today will wear, as well as making our characters occupation students. Later, from conducting a feedback interview, we learned that we were successful.
Do you think this film will appeal to your age group?
Yes, it does appeal to the age group because it's based to people that are in high school. So, yeah.
Does this trailer appeal to your age group?
Yeah, I think it does. It's quite easy to follow.
Lastly, what do you think could be improved?
In conclusion, because our narrative was so easy to follow and our film plot was based in a high school, this appealed to my target audience. We also got a lot of informal feedback. People that have watched our film opening would message me on Instagram directly telling me that they enjoyed it, especially how we're able to blur reality and our characters well, such as our character using Facebook. This made things seem more realistic and scary, as it could potentially happen to anyone. They also enjoyed the laugh at the end when our film title Flawless is revealed, as it really took them off edge. In conclusion, they said that they would in fact watch our media production if it was screening in cinemas. From our audience feedback, I learned that we managed to create a successful film opening. However, for me personally, I would have liked for our intentions to have been more grasped. Me and Nina purposely incorporated little clues, such as our characters changing their nails colours from pink to black, suggesting that she was no longer innocent. Certain clues were not picked up as well as I thought they would have, due to camera quality and the duration of some clips. Therefore, in the future, I would make sure that I use a camera that's capable of picking up little details as well as making my editing more precise so that these elements are clear to my audience, giving our film plot a stronger intellectual puzzle.